Hello guys, I am here today as Class Freestyle, and where am I right now? I am in Forge, and it also says Forge Setup, but that doesn't matter to me. Alright, so today I'm going to be doing a basic setup slash editing Forge tutorial for Halo 4, and so let's just start off with what you're going to be doing. So we have game type right here, and game type you can do. This is gonna actually, let me start with this. This is going to give you certain editing tools that will help you create a map for a game specific map. So you can do capture the flag, dominion, extraction, flood, griffball, king of the hill, oddball, regicide, slayer, and if you go into that folder, infinity rumble, infinity slayer, swat, and slayer pro. So let's see what else. What map you want to use. Every single map that you have is here. Today I have done some projects on Ravine, or Ravine, whatever you call it. You can also use pre-made maps that your game makes. So Ravine, that's just a flat map. It's just a map that's kind of made for editing. Settler, that's a pre-made game map. And I've made a capture the flag map, and I made a trying forge map. But today, I'll be using one of the newest additions to Halo, Forge Island. I've done a bunch of things there already since it came out. I've done a real map for real fighting. I've done a shooting range on it, and Warthog Derby. Maybe I'll do a video on that later. So I'm going to be doing stuff on Forge Island. I'm also going to be doing basic editing, which gives you all of your stuff that you're going to need. Game options, you never really want to go into this. I don't really do it. That's only if you and your friends are going to be fighting during the Forge. So, I'll go over here and start my Forge. That's my guy. I have reached level 106, and I'm doing quite well now. So now the game is gonna start up. It's gonna start out. It's not even gonna say anything. So it's gonna say basic editing, 11 points. It'll give you a random team. Alright. So, I'm gonna start off, and before you even move, look down and press Y. And when you're hovering over something and you press Y, and that certain something will be deleted. Another controls are, your left stick is move, back and forth. Look, is the right stick. On your D-pad, the D-pad is big during Forge. And if you press D-pad on the top, you will turn into player mode. You can shoot, do all that stuff. Press it again, you'll turn into, back into editing mode. On the side, I'll show you the other parts of it later. Cause I can't do anything right now with it. So you got, and then on your right bumper, that's fly up. Left bumper is go down. I don't think right bumper has anything to do with this. I mean, right trigger. Oh yeah, I'll show you that stuff later. Thrust, that's like a sprint, but it's even faster. So now I'm gonna hold down LT and go forward, and it thrusts. So let's start off with, in any map that is made for Forge editing, there's gonna be a couple of, spawn points. You're gonna go over to them and press Y and delete them, if you want to. I normally delete them because I want the map to be completely my own. Just gonna go ahead and do this quickly. Alright, so now they are all deleted. All deleted. Now since those are deleted and there's no respawn points, you're not gonna want to die because you could end up completely different spot than where you were. I also believe there's a neutral spawn point right in the middle of this map. There it is. So, let's start off with my menu. to get to your menu, you're gonna press X, but before you do that, you're gonna press B with nothing in on your thing. And this is rotation snap. It means that you'll move the object 5 degrees at a time or 90 degrees, and you keep on going in a bunch of settings. And delete by palette. You can delete things by their palette, or you could, when you're hovering over something, you can delete it by the object. Magnets, I don't really use them unless I need them. I turn them off for most of the time, but magnets, it'll make it so that objects stick together more easily. I can change just how strengthened the magnets are. And unlock all. You can lock your objects, I believe, with your left D-pad button. And to unlock all, that's self-explanatory. So let's start off with, you also have your map on the bottom. And your budget, you have $10,000. Each thing costs money. It'll say how much money is in the second row right there. Alright, so, weapons human, weapons covenant, weapons foreigner. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. In the weapons human and covenant, you also find your what's it called? Your mounted cannons or guns. But, where most people will go first is structure. Some maps might have their own map-specific structure type things. In Forge Island, it's the artifact base, the bridge wall, catwalk 1, catwalk lip, and green screen. Green screen, you're not going to use unless you're one of those people who needs to have a green screen in every single thing you need to do. So, do that. And when you take a video, you can use that green screen in your video when you edit it. But, say I want to make a racing track or a ramp racing track type thing. I want to have my main platform where I'm going to have those vehicles, right? So I'm going to go to bridges and platforms. I'm going to go down over here to platforms. I have ramped platforms, large platforms like that, or extra large platforms. Now, as you can see right here, when I go into my tools, objects tools, I'll have more options. This is the lock. I can lock it, it'll turn red, and that means I cannot move it, change it in any way. Now I'm gonna go in, again, magnets, turn those on, and say I want to do a incline down into a ramp. I can go down to ramp bridge large, and on the top of it, end of it, you can see these little orange things. Those are your magnets. And since my rotation snap is on, it'll rotate it to a certain point. And now I have a perfect bridge line right here. And I can do it in all directions. It has symmetry here. And I can do the bridge like that. And say I want more of these bridges. On the bottom D-pad, if you can probably see it, on the side, on the left side, there's a duplicate object on the bottom D-pad. So I'm going to duplicate the object, go down here, and I can have it doing that. I'm going to delete that though because I don't want that. Now I can go to, do I have bridges? No, I do not have bridges. Oh wait, those are bridges. So there's your bridges. And I'm going to get an extra large bridge. I'll connect them. I'm not going to have to move them all because of my magnets. They make it a perfect, seamless move. And then I can duplicate it. Duplicate it. Duplicate it. And as you can see right now, my budget is 60 out of 10,000. So, I have $9,940 more to spend, which is quite a bit. So now I'm done with my main kind of catwalk thing. I don't know what to call it. And I'm going to try to make it about the same. So that's not it. I'm gonna get another large ramp, and that can happen too. You have to make sure that, and then you just pull up, and it'll go to the next side. And now I have like a ramp. And say I want to make it a warthog at the top. I'm gonna go out, go to, oh, I just passed it, vehicles, and I'm gonna want to go warthog. You can get any type of warthog here, and I want to do a warthog Gauss cannon warthog. Gonna make it sort of go here. This is where rotation snap does not work well. Gotta change to 5 degrees. So now I'm like that. Gonna go into my player mode, which I explained earlier. Drive the warthog. Now, I'm gonna go off that cliff, if I'm correct. So, I'm gonna back up. Actually, no, I'm not gonna back up. I'm gonna get out by doing that. Move my warthog back up. Reset the orientation, which is your right D-pad when you're holding something. And you reset your orientation, it'll change it back to where it started. So now, I'm gonna move it like this. I'm gonna press X on it. Spawn time, since I'm gonna be going off the cliff, I don't really want to have to wait for my warthog to come back. So I'm gonna change my spawn time to 1. I believe it goes to 180 seconds before respawn. So, I'm gonna get in, and I could just go right off my cliff. I'm gonna die here anyway. I'm gonna commit suicide. It's gonna have me respawn. Probably some on another island. Nope, not. And as you can see, my warthog stays. Now, if I don't want to have my warthog go off a cliff, what I can do is I can build a type of thing that'll hold it there. So I'm gonna go again to my structure, go to my bridges and platforms, platform extra large, build another one here, and then if I want to, I can go to my walls. And I'm gonna take a double wall. I'm gonna hold down RT and move it backwards so that it rotates this way. Yeah, I get it like that. Now I'm gonna go this way and rotate it the way I want it to. And may not be perfect at first, but as you adjust it with your rotation snap, it gets a whole lot better. So now I have this wall that's also curved this way. I didn't really want that, but it's a good idea. And when I run into it, my warthog will not go off the cliff. But that also means that I have to go back that way, which is kind of annoying, but I'm only doing this for educational purposes. I could figure that out if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So, actually, just because I'm doing this as a tutorial, how about I do show you how to get it back. So now I want to go back to where I started, and I can't really go backwards because I don't feel like it. And so I'm gonna just go to my bridges. I'm going to find a corner. So I have my 4x4 corner. It's not what I wanted. Wait, no. Why can't I get a corner like I want to? And then, alright, having issues. I'm having issues. Oh, bridge diagonal. There it is. So bridge diagonal is what I wanted. Put it right there. I can duplicate it. And put another one over here. Sadly, with magnets, they can get stuck to things that you don't exactly want them to get stuck to, which is why I don't normally have them on. But say I want to get back to where I was, I can just go to bridge extra large, duplicate, and now I don't really want to move. I don't want these to move, so I just lock it and it'll turn red. When you lock it, it can still be duplicated, which is nice. And I'm back to my starting point. You could also figure out how exactly to get that corner there. Bridge diagonal might work. Turn it that way. Alright, it's not gonna work. But it will work with a mongoose. So let me delete that with my Y. The mongoose. Put my mongoose down. Get into my mongoose. Drive that way. Hit my favorite wall. Go around this way again. And I'm back to where I started. So I can just keep on doing that forever, right? But say I want to make an obstacle course. Move this back to where it was. When you have an object, you can also thrust. It's a little bit more jerky, but it's nice. So say I want to make this a little bit more dangerous. I can go to my gadgets, go to explosives, and I can use my landmine. Put that there, duplicate it. This here, duplicate it. This here, duplicate it. Duplicate. Duplicate. And maybe I'll just do a few over here. Duplicates are very useful in this situation. And I just delete that. I can go back up here. Now, since I think that I'm going to blow up, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with my Warthog. I'm going to change my spawn time to 1. And since I changed the spawn time to 1 for this, if I duplicate it, this one's spawn time will be 1 too. So that's just pointer. So you don't really have to make sure you duplicate things when you want it to be like that. So now I just go around. I went around him, so I'm so far so good. Oh, I blew up. So I blew up. By the way, don't put landmines too close, they just blow each other up. Kind of chain reaction. And there is my Warthog again. So that's forge for you. Let me see what else. Weapons. You can. That's another thing. Actually no, I'll put that in another video. Another basic forge is spawning. You need to have your spawns. For my initial spawn, I'm going to put it right here. I can turn it around. That when the way that the arrow is facing, that's the way that your player is gonna start. Start facing when he starts. Whoops. And a respawn point seems pretty obvious. Arrow pointed this way. Since I'm on looking at that. I think that by the way, the landmine automatic spawns are just like 5 seconds. So now I die. And I'm back here. And as you can see when you go, if you look down as you spawn, let me just go kill myself again. Landmines you can shoot. So, move that time. But when I look down, I see that I start looking this way on my respawn point. So you know that that's where you're gonna be. And you can, and for your initial spawns, you can change it so that your team is defender, which is red, attacker, which is blue, and I don't know the other ones because I don't really use them. And physics fixed, that means that you can, it floats, but it cannot go through objects. So it floats, but it doesn't go through objects. Phased means that it'll float, it can go right through objects, which is what I use sometimes, and sometimes do not. And then normal, it falls, it doesn't go through anything. And that is your basic forge. I'll probably be back a little bit later with a forge spawning tutorial, because spawning is actually a pretty complicated factor of forge. So I'll be back then, and for you